going to start off with my most common position. We're going to use the shallow lasso. So again, I much prefer to use the lasso variation as opposed to a deep lasso because I don't have any control of distance. With the shallow lasso, we're going to have our heel to be pushing our partner away and create some space. So we're going to step into the shoulder and use this first of all as a drill for guard retention to introduce you to the shallow lasso first, and then we'll move into how to enter into the omoplata once we have got to grips with this guard. Now, once we have recovered back to guard, a lot of times your partner their elbow will creep away from their body, and that will be your opportunity to attack. Now, remember the first entry that we looked at in the very first chapter, very first technique, we bring the arm towards them, and then we punch the arm back, creating that L shape, but using your knee behind the shoulder. Now this is going to be the exact same way the whole time. There just might be a couple of little differences where we threaten the arm bar a little bit more as opposed to just attacking the elbow from here. Now there are going to be some instances where your partner's elbow will be open and we'll take advantage of it. There'll be other times where we commit a second hand to entering and forcing that position. Okay, so now what we're entering into our shallow lasso. As I was saying, this heel is blocking my partner's shoulder. See? I much prefer to use this to create distance and bring my partner away from me as opposed to entering this leg all the way through for my omoplatas. I find that the ability to be able to shoot from here is much more beneficial than wrapping the whole arm inside. So we're using this heel. And again, my partner's elbow is away from his body right now. I have the opportunity to attack. And Tyrone is going to give me these opportunities the more we begin to move around. When he travels towards my lasso leg, his elbow opens. That is my opportunity to begin to shoot. And when he begins to recover, or I've reset my guard, if he tries to travel around my legs, see, the moment I push and recover, there is my opportunity to come into that omoplata as well. So the first drill we're going to look at, just to get to grips with this guard, is going to be your guard retention over here. We want to play almost like a collar and sleeve style here. So we have this lasso over here and my right foot stepping into the bicep on the far side. So we're trying to bring the shoulder towards us. Eventually we'll introduce your collar grip for our power grip finishes as well. Now, I'm trying to develop the dexterity over here on my foot, so when every time Tyrone tries to get control over here, I pummel that leg back to the inside. So practice 2 of those. He goes to pummel, I re-enter, you see? And then as this elbow is away from his body, we're going to have that opportunity to shoot. Now, from here, if he pummels and gets control of my shin, he's going to begin to push it down to start to pass, whether it's coming around my guard or coming through with a knee slice here. You see, I'm going to use this leg, and again, this is in a position where I can use the strongest portion here to be able to leg press him away. This is my strongest movement. So I use my quadricep to extend. And again, this is only enough for this right foot to step back in that bicep again. You see? So the more pressure I feel, the more I try to come around this guard, I just leg press away, recover, then I cycle back, you see? I've recovered this left leg back, I extend my right, now I'm in a position to begin to shoot. And I'm in, ready to begin setting up that omoplata. Now, once we're here, what we're doing is, again, looking for this elbow to come away from his body. So as long as his elbow is not connected to his knee, we have this opportunity to set up this omoplata from a lot of different scenarios. Right now we're looking at our entries with a standing opponent. If he drops onto one knee, then we'll change things. But if his elbow is on the outside of his knee, again, it's not protected at this point, we have the same attacks. What I'm doing is extending my left leg, pulling his hand up into my shoulder, and then punching the arm back while my leg will connect back to my knee. You see, I bring my heel to my knee on the other side. This is the same thing when he's standing. Right now, it's a lot harder for him to keep his elbow connected to his knee from this point, and all we're doing is bringing that hand up into the shoulder. See? At the same time shooting, I punch the arm back, creating that L shape in Tyrone's arm, and then bringing my heel to my knee over the face. Now, the important thing here is once I've entered into the omoplata, I release the sleeve right away, and again, start to check that airspace. I'm trying to prevent his immediate cartwheel. See? So as soon as I lock up, I release, get on my elbow, and come up to finish. So this works perfectly from this guard pass. You see, when I'm here, right now Tyrone is understanding that I'm trying to set up this omoplata, so he tightens his elbow up. You see, the more he tries to pass around my guard, he's no longer thinking about the omoplata, he's thinking about trying to pass. So when I extend and push away, his elbow is severely away from his body. You see, the more I push this away, the more this comes up. You see, so now I extend that left, I shoot up, punch the arm back. Again, release. So you put that arm up, control the airspace, get up onto your elbow. I switch my hips, and I'm ready to come up for that finish.